Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so today we're just doing more of the same thing, trying to figure out these relationships, set up equations to solve them, and either find the angle or find x depending on what they're asking for. So let's see, two lines meet at a point, list the relevant angle relationship in the diagram, set up and solve an equation to find the value of x, find the measurement of one of the vertical angles. So they're telling us, right, we know vertical angles are across from each other, and we also need to remember that vertical angles are equal to each other. So that's our relationship, vertical are equal. And so my equation is going to look like 3x equals x plus 64. So I don't have any parentheses, I don't have any like terms. I do need to move the x to the other side. So there's a little 1 in front, so we have to subtract 1x because it's a positive. 3x minus 1x is 2x equals 64. Finishing it off, dividing by 2, x is 32. Okay, so we found x, but it also asked us to find the measure of one of the angles. And it doesn't matter if you do the 3x or the x plus 64 because they're both equal to each other. So I'm going to do x plus 64. So 32 plus 64 gives us 96 degrees. All right, so just more of the same, hopefully. The measurement of an angle is 1/4 the measurement of its complement, right? So complement means 90 degrees. So we have one angle is x, the other one is 1/4 x, right? We always have to start with one of them being x. Well, now what's my relationship? These two together, x plus 1/4 x, has to give me 90 degrees. Okay, well, that means this is really 1 1/4 x equals 90. You can turn this into a improper fraction, or you can just divide by 1 1/4 because we do have access to our calculators to help us out. So x is 72, right? 90 divided by 1 1/4 is 72. It says find the measurement of the angle. So the angle is 72. I would always go ahead and maybe do the other one. So if I do 1/4 x, sorry, I'm reading so small, that would give me 18, and I need degree symbols there. Okay, three lines meet at a common vertex of a ray. List the relevant angle relationships in the diagram. Set up and solve an equation to find the value of z. So we got a lot of different things going on here. So I know, right here is z. Z is this angle plus the right angle, right? So I know z is 90 plus some measurement there. So I have to be able to figure out that measurement in order to figure out what z is. So when I look at my picture, right, again, there's a lot of different things going on. I also know that we have this straight line right here. And this straight line is made up of the 29, it's made up of the 90, and it's made up of this missing angle that I need. So a straight line is 180 degrees. So I can use these two things to figure this out. I'm going to call this x for right now, just so that we have something there other than a question mark. So I know that x plus 90 plus 29 has to equal 180 degrees. So solve that, we're going to get 119 equals 180. Subtract 119. So x is going to give me 61 degrees. Now I can figure out z, because if this is 60, if I take this out and I call this 60, then z, which is this, z is going to be 90 plus 60, which is 150 degrees. Okay, so definitely take some getting used to trying to look at some of these more complicated pictures. All right, so let's see what's happening up here for number 4. Two lines meet at the common vertex of two rays. Set up and solve an equation to find the value of x. So again, I have a lot of different things going on here. So when I'm looking at this, right, I know that we have to get a little bit more information, basically, is what we need to do. So I'm going to look to see, I know that right here, so I know that right here, the 5x and the 4x lie on this straight line, which is very useful. However, just like in problem number 3, I don't know what that angle is, so that's not going to help me yet. So I need to somehow be able to figure out, well, what's that question mark, right? I'm going to put a y there instead of a question mark just because we need to be a little bit more mathematical. I also know, much like in the problem before, I see this straight line, and this straight line, the green one, is made up of the 36, the 90, and the y. So a lot like what I did before is going to come into play here. So I know that y plus 90 plus 36 has to be 180 degrees because it's a straight line. So add those together, that gives me 126. Subtract 126. So now I know that that little missing piece is 54. So this angle is 54 degrees. So now, because I have this, ooh, that was pretty bad. Let's try that again. Because I have this line, the blue one is made up of the 5x, the 54, and the 4x. Now I have enough information to be able to set up my equation. So 5x plus 4x plus 54 is equal to 180 degrees. Combine my like terms, 9x plus 54 equals 180. Subtract 54, so 9x is equal to 126. Divide both sides by 9. Gives me x equals 14 degrees. Now, it asked me to find the value of x, and it asked me to find the measurement of the angles. So then I have to go in and do that. So I'm going to put it up here because I wrote a little too big. So 4 times 14 means that this angle is going to be 56 degrees. And 5 times 14 is going to make that angle 70 degrees. So, all right, let's take a look. One more. So 6 rays meet at a point. We want to find the value of x, and then we want to find the measure of 2 of the angles here. So again, I'm looking for, I have a bunch of different options to be able to do this one. I want to take the one that requires the least amount of work. So I see a corner right here, and that corner is made up of the 2 3x's. So I know a corner, complementary, is 90 degrees. So 3x plus 3x equals 90. 6x equals 90. Divide by 6, and x is going to give me 15. Now, I could have taken any of the straight lines. I could have added them all up and had it equal 360 because I had information in for all of them. So there is sometimes more than one way you can go about this. So I found x, so let's see, what angles do they want me to find? They want me to find CAE. CAE is 4x. So 4 times 15 is going to give me 60 degrees. They also want me to find FAB. So FAB is right here, and that's 3x. So 3 times 15 is going to give me 45 degrees. Okay, so sometimes it's a straightforward, set up your equation and go. Sometimes you have to find another piece of information first to be able to do that. But any questions, as always, you're going to bring them to class and have a great night.